Guess we're live. So unfortunately, no, we don't have tool stock yet. Close though. Wrapped light. All right, hang it out. Oh, now it's too high. Hang on. There. Better. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have tool stock yet, but my machinist did say that Friday they're going to start work on the rods. They're going to bang out 100 rods. It's not going to take them that long, so I'm really hoping like this weekend we're actually going to have tools, or we'll have stock. So I actually have 3 pre-orders at this point, so those guys will get their stuff shipped. Really hoping on Monday. 6 people here already. Old Man Fred, James, and David. Wonderful. So tonight I mainly came... I don't have a whole lot. I mainly came on tonight for James because I know he's in a bad way. So, James, I hope you feel better. I really do, buddy. Terry's here. So, actually, I better put this back. Man, these are pretty. So the way the machinist is doing these now, at least the ends, they're actually getting thread milled. And man, is it pretty. Okay. 8 people. So unfortunately, we figured out yesterday. I got was it yesterday, the day before? I was talking to Larry, and apparently the Mako 268 cylinder pistons that I made a pop-up of have a significant amount of intake duration, so much that they don't run so great. So the fact that I bought 30 of them or whatever is 20 or whatever. What did I get? 20? 30? I don't know. Oh well. Hey Tim. Tim, you're talking in caps again. Arterial blood gas sticks. I'll be okay. Do they do was it a radial? Did they do it like a radial stick? Is that what they're doing? Oh. Oh God. Ugh. You got the stuff, Eric. Good. Every 2 hours. Oh, shoot. So, Eric, what do you think of that other part? Let's see what's going on today. I had a short day. It was busy. I had a busy day. 8 to 2 today. It was busy. So no lunch. And better day than yesterday, I'd say. Yesterday was rough. Tomorrow's really busy. 8 in the morning to 7. Then I have Friday off. And I was going to have the siding guy come out today, but I think it'll be, I think it's going to be Friday morning. And then what I might do actually is figure out if I can get my bandsaw blades dropped off at that place that Ken told me about. Doug Sweener. Hi, Matt. How you doing? First time from Talladega, Alabama. Small engine nation. It's fantastic. Doug, we as of late we've just been hanging out. Really, I I don't have lots of content. One of the problems, Doug, if you're not familiar, if you haven't been around here, chainsaws have occupied most of my life for like the last 4, maybe 5 years. Um, and I think this is still too loud. Yeah, so maybe 4 or 5 years. So I'm. The problem is I gotta get away from chainsaws just because they've occupied my life, and I have other stuff that I gotta do, and my life has changed significantly as of literally August last year. So I've quit my job, and now I have a new job, and it's the same, but it's also different. So it's much more regular, and I come home significantly more tired. So, unfortunately, me doing lots of chainsaw rebuilds, um, going on a go forward basis, isn't happening. But I'm kind of addicted to doing this live thing, and I guess enough people like coming here in the evenings and hanging out and asking questions. So, it's a whole lot easier sometime to have people come on and ask questions than it is to do emails or whatever. And so it's that this has really been a lot of fun for me. um, and the thing about chainsaws has been that every time I've thought that I've had it down, like I've got this, I got the hobby pretty good, they throw me for another loop. It's always humbling to be working on saws. They're always a challenge. um, Other people have better luck than me. I definitely don't. I do not have good luck with saws. I think I'm pretty careful when I put them together, but overall, it's always some dumb thing that ends up messing you up. I do small engine. I am building a mud mower, tool review, tool hauls, this sort of stuff like that. Cool. Yeah, like as James said, we try to do a manly chat here, tools and whatnot. Uh, if I have something interesting, I'll obviously bring it up. But for the most part, um, these days, we're just hanging out answering questions. Tom Pop, how's it going? Anything I can do for you, buddy? Questions, comments, anything? Doug, one thing that you can do for me is if you can spread around the fact that I have chainsaw crank tools for sale, that'd be great. Um, I don't know how familiar you are with my channel and what I do here, but for the most part, I've done uh, completely trash chainsaws. So I take saws that have been dragged behind a truck and rebuild them. So one of the most challenging parts of chainsaw rebuilds is actually putting the crankcases together. Because two cycle motors, you need to actually press the crank through the bearings, and the bearings are actually in the case halves, so you need to press the whole thing together. And I came up with a way to pull the crank through the bearings instead of press, and it's much safer for the bearings. And there are sort of similar tools on the market like it, but nothing exactly like it. It's a very elegant design, and I usually have stock of them. So if you know of anybody that puts chainsaws together on a fairly regular basis, and they're doing it like heating something up and cooling something down, send them my way and have a look at what I've got. It's really pretty good. Can we get toolbox tours? Yeah, I can do a toolbox tour tonight, real quick. You want me to do that? Brian, how's it going? Tom Pop just tuned in. Hope you got my order for the crank tools. What order? Did you send me an order? have to go back at my PayPal and find out. I have two guys that have ordered from me that have paid on PayPal. I'll be right back. Going to share. Okay, great, Doug. Thanks. Was that you, Tom, that ordered for me first? I don't. Forgive me. Let me check the PayPal real quick. Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on. No. All right, here. Just gonna go to PayPal. Why the devil? I'll do this later. Okay. Do that later, whatever that is. Hang on, Tom. Sorry, guys. PayPal balance, recent activity. No, I have money from Ricky and from Gordon. And then I have money from, apparently coming from, I think it's Bill. Bill. I have money coming from Bill. So no, Tom, I don't think I have you here, buddy. Let's go back so I can see comments. Oh, okay, I see. You have a money order on the way? Okay, very good. That's fine. I have not seen it. I need simple stuff like a return address. What am I sending? What am I sending and where is it going to? I just to keep things straight because otherwise I get stuff that's I get confused. Now it's actually gotten easier for me because now what I do is instead of writing down everybody's address, I can just put it right in the mail and I can do click and ship with the post office, and then I can just I've actually had really good luck with shipping stuff from the house, so it's been awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I got the mail tonight. I didn't see it, Tom. Share to Hangout, Small Engine Nation group chat. Sweet. Thank you. 18 people here, hanging out. So, Doug, you want to do a toolbox tour? Is that what you want to do? I've done it before. I can do it again. My toolbox is not all that interesting, but I can give you a quick, run around. This is the basement. This is where I've worked for a very long time. Twisted R Racing. How's it going? Small Engine Nation. Very good. So this is where I've done my chainsaw stuff for a very long time, and I've caught all kinds of hell about the bench that I'm using and my other bench here, and I mean it's a crappy spot down here, but it's worked, and I can show you why it's worked. So let's do a bit of a toolbox tour and a tour around there, so I can show you what I'm doing and why. And I'm gonna unplug this. Sorry, hang on. So let's go over here and give you a... So we are still live here. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So you can see we've got a very small room here. And I have a bench here, a bench there. This thing, my vice bench, quote unquote, whatever that is. The rest of my parts and junk. And what you'll notice here is This used to be just piled with chainsaw stuff. And right now, even though there's still a couple of things on the floor, there's only one saw here that's in parts, and that's that 394 that I'm going to be finishing up. And that 394 I'm using as my test candidate for a intake air horn, and I made that video a couple of days ago, and Eric Briggs is helping out huge with that. So, but anyway, so we've got just parts for that there. Other than that, there's no part saws down here anymore. I'm really trying to avoid that. What I do have, I have the two 394s here for sale. If anybody's interested in a 394, I got a couple of ported 394s that are quite nice over there that I'm selling, and those are $700 a shot plus shipping. If anybody's interested, and you can go back and look at the videos on those. Okay, so some garage in North Georgia. What else? So what you'll notice here, let's see if I can do this. So if I'm standing right where this chair is, you can notice I have a triangle here. And when I work here, if I put a chainsaw there, I have all the parts and whatever else I need over here, nuts and bolts and whatnot up there, and obviously my toolbox all right here. So it really helps to have the triangle. Literally, I can just stand here and I can just turn around and grab my toolbox, you know, whatever I might need. Yeah, Doug, I don't run stock saws. I don't have stock saws. I don't run stock saws. You can basically, I don't know. I don't think there's much point to running a stock saw. I just don't. I'm weird like that, but I don't modify saws that are brand new. So a lot of guys are getting into that now, especially, you know, most notably Mastermind. He mainly does brand new saws, but I just don't like tearing apart a brand new chainsaw. You know, it's just not me. I do trash saws and I bring them back to life. And when I bring them back to life, I don't do the testing and all that stuff. I'm not going to go back into a cylinder and grind that a little more and fiddle with it. I want to make it pretty good, put it together, and have it work. That's kind of where my philosophy comes and goes. And I don't have to be the best, you know. Don't have to be the best. As long as it's better than stock, I'm happy. So let's see. So the toolbox tour. Here we go. And this is the catch-all bottom drawer. But what's in here mainly now are the parts for the tools. So I've got nuts and washers and handles, essentially, for the tools. I have like an infinite amount of 1/4 inch sockets in there that somebody left in this toolbox when I bought it, and it was actually in the space under this bottom drawer. So whoever sold me the toolbox didn't find those for whatever reason, but I got them, so whatever. Next drawer, kind of grinding stuff, and splitter for the chainsaw crankcases, and some spare junk tools that, you know, were part of the prototyping process. Grinders and whatnot. Drill bits. So I got drill bits in here. This is a Hitachi set that I picked up. It was pretty nice. Actually, this is yeah, I don't know how old it is, but this I picked up at a pawn shop for $200. I picked up the box, a couple $100. And actually, I'll show you, because I did a modification to the box underneath here. I was actually explaining this last night, but I don't know if I didn't get to show anybody. So if you look under here, you can see that I've reinforced the box with plywood. What I also did was How's it going, Leonard? What I also did was these wheels, let's come over here. These wheels are now further splayed out than they would have been otherwise. So this box is much less tippy than it was stock. I don't run stock saws and I don't run stock boxes. Anyway. Bad. All right. So yeah, so let's see. So drill bits. If you have to ask, some of my favorite tools are the gear wrenches. These are easily in my top 10 favorite tools. No, Barry, I did not buy a new box. Doug wanted a toolbox tour, so I'm doing a toolbox tour. The gear wrenches, my opinion on these is, A, I love them, but B, if you're going to buy them, you buy the full set. They're certainly cheapest to do that, and you get them on Amazon or something like that. You get the full set. You don't buy them in pieces. Just buy the full shoot, Sockets, 1/2 inch. My 3/8 stuff. Should have bought that Craftsman box. Yeah, you should, Barry. You should have seen my credit card bill last month. It was just brutal. Just kind of other randomness in here. Batteries. I have. What is that? I forget what the devil's in here. Hang on. Oh, that's right. It's a micrometer. It's a 2 to 3 inch Mitutoyo. This came from an auction at an aircraft company. I think I picked it up pretty cheap. Have I ever used it for anything? No. Another mic. I mainly use this mic. I mean, somebody ground on this, but this actually works pretty good. My Coke can trick stuff and solder. And these are just the Pittsburgh calipers, the digital calipers from Harbor Freight, and they work just fine, at least for what I do. The catch-all box. Screwdrivers, files, Loctite, 3-bond, 518, super scraper. Sean Carr told me to get this, so I did. It's a carbide scraper. God, is it sharp. Edwin's here. You keep showing up late, buddy. Need my yearly incentive bonus, likely trying to decide what to spend it on. Barry, I think you need a 394. My cordless Dremel with the pencil attachment, the old Black & Decker pencil attachment. I tell you what, I like these Bosch tools a lot. The batteries are compatible, and they have a lot of other tools too, but this is essentially like the catch-all Dremel box. Grinders and all that other stuff. All my random change, all my pliers and whatnot, just pliers. Hand tools, nothing special here. Definitely nothing special. This is pretty cool. Speed outs. I got an old Craftsman box, some Craftsman tools, snap-ons, and homemade tools. Yeah, often you can pick up toolboxes like on Craigslist for cheap, and they have tools in them. Sometimes I just want the darn box, because I don't want more crap. But anyway. So yeah, tap and die set, more taps. I have a bunch of these for fixing cylinder heads, for spark plugs, saber threads. They're pretty handy. Another favorite tools are these long Allens. So these are SAE, and those are metric, and these are ball end metric. And this is like a 3mm one. Yes, you can break that off with an impact. Don't do that. So all the safety torques. Oxygen sensor tool. Hone. 1/4-inch stuff. 1/4-inch torque wrench. More 1/4-inch stuff. This is metric. This is SAE, I think. Don't normally use that one. I mainly use this one. And actually, this hand 1/4-inch driver is nice and handy. You ever put a saw in a go-kart? No. Really, Doug? I mean, I'm not even really... I'm not a mechanic. I'm a dentist. So I don't have the time to be fiddling around with all that kind of stuff. I mainly got into chainsaws kind of as an accident, and it became habit just to rebuild them. My chainsaw bucket here, which is actually, I built that in like in the 8th grade or something, and all kinds of other, box tools. Tap and die set, the bearing puller. I forget what that black box is. At my Bostitch brad nailer, I think, or stapler. You need a set of case tools. Well, if you're getting a sweet bonus, it's not going to put that much of a dent in your bonus. If you're getting a sucky bonus, then it might take all of it. Uh, 17 people here. So we actually have tools coming. They're going to work on them Friday. I'm really hopeful we're going to see them Sunday. If the guy says they're ready, I'll go down and pick them up, and I'll be shipping Monday. They'll all go out Monday. And anybody that places orders. And I have pretty good stock. I've got 3 pre-orders right now, and I don't know. What are these? 8 small sleeves right there. So that's probably the limit. So I've got 3 pre-orders right now. So I have space for 5 more, at least immediately. But all I need to do is make up a few more of those, and I have more of those. So not that big of a deal. So I have pretty good stock kind of going forward here. What else do you want to see? So Harbor Freight Allens, which are quite handy. I really do like those. For the money, that's a killer set. That's a set of screwdrivers I picked up from Pep Boys for pretty inexpensive. And there was, I did this for a long time. I would go to Pep Boys and use my Discover Card points there. Discover Card actually was a Pep Boys partner, and they just recently stopped. I would use $20 worth of Discover Card and get $25 worth of Pep Boys, which isn't that much, but when used in conjunction with their coupon, it was like $75 buys you $100 worth of stuff. So it was only $60 worth of cashback bonus, and I'd get $100 worth of stuff there. So that's not so bad, and that's something I picked up a while ago. Is that a ring compressor? No, there's no ring compressor here. But yeah, I don't use a ring compressor. I probably should. So yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff here. You can come check us out live stream Friday night, Twisted R Racing, 8 p.m. Central. Small Engine Nation. That's on YouTube? Doug, I will look that up. Thanks. I used to do audio. I built my own audio equipment, so a lot of this stuff is actually audio. So it's all resistors and capacitors, and I've got drawers full of stuff, full of capacitors. Those are all capacitors. Capacitors. Like, stuff that's under here. More caps. And all kinds of randomness. I get all kinds of junk. An amp back there. A couple of amps back there. Power supply. Actually up here. I was trying to sell this a while ago. This is a nice assortment here of like resistors and whatnot. Resistors, caps. I mean, some of like these things. Anybody seen these before? These are like industrial quality resistors. I got a whole pile of them. I got boxes. I mean, boxes of electrical stuff, audio stuff. I got all kinds of crap. Anywho. Doug, does that help you out, buddy? As far as a quick tour around? Tim, I had an old go-kart from the 1960s with 2 Mac 101s. That's pretty cool. We need a saw tour. The saws are out in the shed, and unfortunately, live does not work well out there because the signal is terrible out in the shed, and it's only 100 feet over there. So, and it's not even doing a saw tour with my saws, including those two for sale there. I've got 16 chainsaws. That's not, I mean, compared to a lot of guys, it's like nothing. Lee has over 500 up at his place, so, there's no competition there. Doug says, thanks, brother. You're welcome, Doug. Adirondack, yeah, I've seen them just use caps to charge up and blow out fillings out of patience. Why do you have so many caps? Well, I was buying stuff on eBay because on eBay and at surplus places because when you're prototyping speakers, you need like a lot of assortments of capacitors to make up your make up crossovers. And the better the assortment of capacitors you have, the more likely you are to be able to prototype something fairly quickly. So I've just got all kinds of stuff regarding all that, and unfortunately I haven't gotten back to it. I'd like to get back to it, but that chainsaws and audio basically stemmed out of a need. The whole impetus towards it was I need to do X, Y, or Z, whatever it was. And for audio, it was I want like a nice stereo. I want to learn about it, and I want a nice stereo, and I don't want to pay a lot of money for it, so I'm willing to work to get it. That's kind of where that went. And with chainsaws was, I need to learn how to fix saws because I need to cut stuff on my property. I need to be able to go cutting with Dad. I have friends that need me to cut stuff, so it was something I needed to do. And after I started rebuilding them, it just became habit to keep doing it. Barry Reynolds, I have over 20 saws, and you want me to buy a 394? Yes. Did the 3D printed air horn work modifications, Matt? I have to ask Eric. Eric just got it back today. I shipped it back to him. I'm pretty sure I could have made it work, but would it have worked? Yes. But I want to make it so it's like bolt-on ready good. And so it's back to Eric with some suggestions and modifications, and we'll see what he comes up with. So you have some electronics experience. Who taught you that? Well, that's kind of a complex question and complex answer. So my buddy Mike, who's been on here before, sold me my first stereo at like 13, and the first thing I did was tear it apart. And ever since then, I have been into very poorly building speakers. I loved building speaker cabinets, and we just were terrible at it. We were awful at it. But it's okay, we were kids, we were fiddling around with stuff, and we thought it was awesome. We had a good time. So, so I've spent a lot of time researching it, and then I started to, get into it more. And there were plenty of other people that I got involved with. I started doing lots of reading online. I got very involved with an online forum called Parts Express. Parts Express is out in Dayton, Ohio, and they are a electronic parts company. Um, Matasound is also a very popular one for audio. And I just did a lot of reading. You do lots and lots of reading, and eventually you start fiddling with things, and you do more reading, and you buy some stuff, and you have a few extra bucks laying around, you go buy something, buy a speaker, you buy crossover components, you buy, whatever, and and you just keep fiddling around with it. Um, Eventually, I got into building my own amplifiers, and that was interesting in and of itself. And I met a guy online named Bill, and I won't give him his last name, but he was a really prominent doc in Hartford, and I was in dental school at the time. I met Bill, and Bill had unbelievable stuff. I mean, it was just like when I went into his house, it was just like drooling from the beginning. But he was also one of those rare people that loved to build his own stuff, had plenty of money to buy whatever he wanted, but loved to build his own stuff anyway. And so I learned a lot from him, and we went around to some shows together, and DIY amplifier and speaker meetings and stuff like that. So I did all that stuff for a long time, like when I was in dental school. And then I bought a house, and that I built speakers for a while then, and eventually that kind of faded away into working on the house, plumbing and electrical work, and then that kind of faded into chainsaws. So that makes sense. Tim Freeman, you can come run my 395. I take you up on that. What is the best brand of speaker? Bill was a ham, wasn't he? I don't know if I describe Bill as a ham. You're killing me, Adirondacks. What is the best brand of speaker? Are you talking about like a already put together one, or actually drivers like tweeters, mids, woofers, that type of stuff? Because there is no good answer to any of that. Was Bill a ham radio operator? I don't know. I don't think so. He might have been, but yeah, houses do take up a lot of time, and they've basically taken up a lot of time for years. Put together. Um, I don't know. I've heard some really expensive speakers that didn't sound good. I've heard some fairly inexpensive ones that sounded really nice. If I had to, pick a brand that I'd go buy at any price, I don't know. I don't know where I'd end up. I have to think back to those days when I was actually into it. Generally, like if you want to look up a company called Von Schweikert, um, for bang for buck, I think they're pretty solid. But that was years ago, so I don't know what's doing now. When you have studs, everybody wants something cut up or cut down. Yeah, so got to be careful about what you do. Oh, I got an email here from Craig. Hang on. Craig S. wrote me. Without your piece of puzzle, I'd still be lost. Oh, that's great. Okay. Craig in Pennsylvania. Just want to say thanks. Awesome, Craig. I'm glad if you're listening. I'm glad that you got your saw together. That's awesome. Good for you. Thanks for the email. Okay. Sorry, I just had to, just in case it was one of you guys. Keep the 394s coming. I'll buy one eventually. Oh God. That's like when you have a pool, everyone wants to come over. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, somebody's gonna pick up the 394s. They're good. Those are not gonna last forever. Somebody will buy them. I have a lot of money into those. I'm willing to bet I'm not even making any money at this point on them. Got to be $700 a piece in parts. One of them has a brand new fuel tank. That's 150 by itself. Just the clutch covers are $80 a shot, and those are OEM brand new, both of them. Sell the 394, buy a new toolbox. I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Of course, I can certainly sell the other 394. That one that I was milling with, I'd let go for like $500 plus shipping. That one runs really good. Probably like 20 tanks, maybe 30 tanks through it at this point. Runs really good, that thing. Good saw. Can we come over and play with the sawmill? Yes, but I don't have any logs. Of course you can come over and play with the mill. I've had plenty of people come over and play with the mill, and that thing is fun. So, philosophically speaking, I know you guys have heard me say this before, but the very rarely in life do you find anything that is as much fun as you expected. You build so many things up in your mind, and at the end of the day, it just wasn't as much fun as you expected. The bandsaw mill is just as much fun as you can imagine. It really is. And I just have an absolute blast out on that thing every time. Maybe if it became a job, I wouldn't like it, but I do really enjoy working with that thing. If I have to think of like my favorite thing to do right now, it's milling with the bandsaw mill, not the chainsaw mill. People that do chainsaw milling on a regular basis need to have their heads checked. Just saying. I think that's crazy. Bring logs and we run the mill. Yes. We've got 100 acres of trees. I drag some down the throughway. Yeah, hauling logs is hard. If you get a log truck to bring them down, great. You can just dump them on my front lawn and we can pull them in. They can just like offload them right off the truck, right onto my front yard, and they just roll right down to the landing area, and then we can pull them in with my log hauler. And it's time for bed for me. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early tomorrow, and I got a long day tomorrow. And it would be fun to get a new toolbox, but let's bring all logs to bed. Uh, moving logs is so hard. Very few people bring me logs. You gonna put in the order for the wood? What's really nice when you're milling, what's ideal, at least in my mind, is to have whoever it is that wants something done bring the log, drop off the log, tell me what they want out of it, cut it, and as soon as it's cut, they take it and it's gone. That's ideal for me. Um, because then I don't have to store it, I don't have to stack it, I don't have to sticker it, anything. They can just take it. They can deal with all the stacking, stickering, everything, and I just don't have to worry about it. That's the ideal for me. Yeah, I'm at your logs. Tell you what, I milled up some really nice stuff, but anyway, I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. We've been hanging out. It's been fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Tools. I'm hoping end of the weekend I will have a word, or hopefully the tools in my hands. Supposedly Friday it's going to get started, so that's awesome. Good night, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Do appreciate it. If anybody needs a 394, they can email me. Anyway, everybody have a great night, and thanks so much. We'll see you soon. And take care, James. Feel better.